Hi. So I just finished filming and editing for last week's video that you will have hopefully seen. If not, go check it out, where I attempt and fail to finish my February TBR. I did leave off with Pride and Prejudice, but it was okay because we will read it during spring break probably. So I set a kind of posed a question to my students. I teach 10th graders, so that's 15, 16-year-olds English. And I want to get them more interested in like reading, or at least like asking me questions about books if they don't read themselves. And so I asked them to pick 3 books that I have on my shelves to read this week before spring break. And they picked, I gave them a choice of, I think, six books, which hopefully you will have seen the clip of my little form that I sent out. So they have chosen 3 books for me to read this week. These are 3 books that I was already interested in that I haven't read yet, or if I have, I hadn't read it since I was in middle school or high school. So I figured this would be a good chance to get this done. We are going to be SAT testing on Wednesday. So I know that after we are done testing, we'll still be in the classroom all day. So I'll be able to probably sit down and read just a little bit. And with them being all YA books, I am hoping that they will be quicker reads. So to kind of introduce just what books I'm going to be reading, first off is a book that is in my classroom library currently. I didn't have it at home. But that is Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. Um, it'll be here somewhere. Um, I remember reading this in high school or middle school and loving it, but I can't remember it because it's been 15 years. So I am going to be reading that one. They also chose We Both Die at the End, or sorry, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Um, I have had this on my shelf forever. This got the most votes. This had like 70 votes. And sorry, it had 50 of the 70 students that ended up voting. So They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera was top of their list. And then to go along with that, they also chose If I Stay by Gayle Foreman. Again, I've had this on my shelf forever. I do have the next book, Where She Went, as well. So this will also help me kind of take down my TBR because these are both on my physical TBR at home. If I enjoy them, but I know that I'm not going to read them later on, they will go to my classroom library for my students to pick up and read. So I have If I Stay by Gayle Foreman, They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. So I think I'm going to start with, let me read the backs of these real quick, and then we'll decide which book we're going to start with for this week. So If I Stay follows Mia. On a day that started like any other, Mia had everything: a loving family, a gorgeous, adoring boyfriend, and a bright future full of music and full of choices. Then, in an instant, almost all of that is taken from her. Caught between life and death, between a happy past and an unknowable future, Mia spends one critical day contemplating the only decision she has left, the most important decision she'll ever make. Simultaneously tragic and hopeful, this is a romantic, riveting, and ultimately uplifting story about memory, music, living, dying, and loving. So that's fun. What would you do if you had to choose? So I wonder if she is on the brink of death, maybe? I don't know. That is very interesting. Another book that deals with death. Cool. So we here at Last Friend Inc. are collectively sorry for this loss of you. Our deepest sympathies extend to those who love you and to those who never meet you. We hope you find a new friend of value to spend your final hours with today. On September 5th, a little after midnight, Death Cast calls Mateo Torres and Rufus Emeterio to deliver some bad news. They are going to die in less than 24 hours. Mateo and Rufus are total strangers, but for different reasons. They're both looking to make a new friend on their end day. The good news is there's an app for that. It's called Last Friend. And through it, Rufus and Mateo meet up for one final epic adventure to live a lifetime in a single day. So this actually sounds very, very interesting. I'm realizing they both have that weird, like, cut off cover where it's not like the full whatever, so it shows some design, which is interesting. I think just for the fact of like what grabs my attention more is going to be they both die at the end. So I think I'm going to read that this afternoon and kind of check in. Hopefully at the middle point, it looks like it is. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, I am not feeling great today, but you know, it is what it is. But it looks like it's broken up like at times, and then is also like double a dual POV. So this actually looks most interesting. So I will be reading They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera first.
Hi. So, excuse the outfit. We are doing pictures for the yearbook staff today, and my students have requested that I dress up as well. So we're all dressing in Y2K fashion, late 90s, early 2000s, and so I'm dressing like a 90s, early 2000s teacher. So we got the denim dress, we got the schoolhouse vibes, the pins. I have some I have the glasses like holder thingy in my bag. I'll be wearing my kids. It'll be fun. So I wanted to come in because I finished They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I gave this a 5 because it made me cry. I mean, we both know that they're gonna die. It tells it in the title. We just don't know how. We don't know when. So like every page, it was like, okay, is this it? Is this it? Is this gonna happen? But this follows Mateo and Rufus. Mateo is 18, Rufus is 17, and they both get the call that today is their death day. Um, it's this new thing that I guess the government rolled out where you get a call, by the end of the day, you'll be dead. It could happen at any point. Um, it could be like after you get off the phone call, you know. It could be 11:59 p.m. Who knows? But they are going to die at the end of this book. But they meet by chance on the Last Friend app, where they just spend the day together. They live life to the fullest because they know this is their last day on Earth, and it's heartbreaking. It's heart wrenching. Their life their past is awful and like it makes me cry. It's also full of love. It's just a whole thing. I loved this so much. I am going to see if it's on the approved list of books I can have in my classroom, and it will be added to my classroom library. So this is the first book, one of the first books that I'm reading for the books that my students chose for me. So this one is done. It's over there. I already started reading If I Stay. I'm probably about like 20-ish pages in. I didn't realize that the books that I chose all dealt with death at some point. I mean, Hush Hush is Fallen Angels, but you know, that's like after death, I guess. But If I Stay by Gayle Foreman is my next read. I am, again, 20 something pages in, and I've already cried. Like, what the heck? This follows Mia after a tragic accident. She has a choice to make, and we are getting like timestamps of her choices. So, like, it starts at like 7 something in the morning. School has been called off. Right now, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. She's very specific with times, not just 9:05 or 9. Like, it's not a multiple of 5 or 30 or whatever. It's like 9:27. 9:15 or that's a multiple of 5. It's like, but it doesn't just end. So like the book starts off 7:09 a.m. like very specific times, not broad, which I am enjoying. So I will have a little bit of time today to read because my students are going to the library. Um, no, my students aren't going to the library today. That's tomorrow. I'll have time to read during my lunch break today. Um, so I will be reading. I also have detention tonight, so I'll probably finish this today. I think I might also bring Hush Hush with me just to have in case because it is Thursday and I do want to finish this before end of day Saturday, which is doable, but I want to make sure I have plenty of time. Also, can we appreciate these nails? I'm going to put a picture up in case you can't see these, but they're little strawberries. The inspiration for this is the Strawberry Patch Pancake House that comes out next week. I'm excited. I cannot wait to get it in my hands. It's pre-ordered. It is going to be here soon. But this is the inspiration. We had a little plaid checkered nail. We have two little pinky, whatever, and then two strawberries. I love Hilda. She's amazing. Again, I will forever praise her and her craftsmanship. But I am going to get finished getting ready for work, and I will check in with y'all. I probably won't check in at the 50% mark because these have been really quick reads. And like I finished, they both died at the end in the middle of testing while I was out in the hallway. Uh, so I couldn't update y'all halfway through, for testing reasons. Also, I want to keep my job, so I'm not going to film whilst I'm at work if I can avoid it. Okay, I will talk with y'all later when I have more feelings about this next book. All right, bye. All right, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for this lighting because I'm outside in a parking lot. Maybe that'll make it more even. Okay, hi. So I just finished this book, If I Stay, by Gayle Foreman, and it absolutely wrecked me. It absolutely wrecked me. This follows Mia after a devastating car accident. Puts her in the hospital, and she has to decide if she's going to live or if she's just going to give in and pass. And we're getting flashbacks from her life, from her family, seeing what's happening now. So she's kind of having like an out-of-body experience while like stuff is going on around her, but the things that she's witnessing, she's then going and seeing like stuff in her past, from when she was young and her little brother was being born to the first time she kissed her boyfriend, and like it's so heart-wrenching, so sweet. I will be watching the movie this weekend. Again, absolutely devastated me, had me bawling in detention. I read it all today. I mean, I read 20 pages yesterday on Wednesday, but I ended up finishing the last 200 pages this afternoon while I was working detention. It was a very quick read, a very easy read. I really enjoyed it. But I wanted to come in, give you a little update. I do have Hush Hush in my car, but I'm going to read that tomorrow. I'm going to give my brain a break from looking at words on pages, and I will read that tomorrow because my students will be going to the library for part of the class. So during that part of the class, I will be sitting there reading my book while the librarian does her thing. Also, can we look at how cute these are? How precious. Okay, so I'm going to go in. My students are doing a choir concert, and I am running late. So I will check in with y'all. I don't know if I'll check in halfway or if I will check in when I'm done, like this one. And this one was just, we're sitting and we're reading. But yeah, I will talk to y'all later. Allergies, not ideal. So I have finished Hush Hush. I read this in a day. Granted, it was broken up throughout the day. Today, my students went to the library for the last like 30 minutes of class for each period. And so while they were listening to the librarian talk about some new programs that we have, I was in the back reading. We are encouraging them to read more. This week has been, it is Friday, so the school week is over. This week has been Read Across America week. And so our schools have been like challenged to read as many minutes as possible, have the students reading in class and outside of class. And so we were trying to encourage that. The librarian read a book to the students, so they got some reading time. They checked out books. They did all this. And so I was able to read. And I am house sitting as well, so I was able to sit down and read the last like 200 pages of the book, and I enjoyed it. I did give it a 3.5, only for the fact that it definitely was very YA. If I would have read this in high school, like if I were a high schooler reading this, I probably would have eaten it up. Probably would have given it a 5 star. But some of the like circumstances or like the way that the characters were treating each other gave me the ick. The story itself was good. It gives 2009 young adult fantasy, Fallen Angels, all of this. I remember reading books like this. If not this book, I don't remember this book. So I'm thinking I hadn't read it. But it has been on my shelf forever. But I remember reading books similar to this that were about fallen angels, and like that's what inspired me to first start writing. And so this is always going to have like a place in my heart, I guess you could say, as like something that I really enjoy reading. So yeah, I gave Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick a 3.5 out of 5. I am going to continue the series. I don't know when, but I will, because I want to finish. I have the rest of the series. It's like 4 books. I believe it's 4 book series. So I am excited to dig into those. Hello. So, well, let's do it this way, just in the order. Hi. So I read 3 books this week. My students selected 3 books for me to read this past week, and I was, reading in class while they were doing independent work. I was reading during my lunch break, trying to make sure that they saw me reading to kind of encourage them to read a little bit more on their own, whether that is through audiobook, ebooks, graphic novels, anything. This week has been all about reading. I did track all of my reading, not just on like my normal apps like Goodreads or Storygraph, but the school has a program called Beanstack that is very similar to Goodreads, but it is definitely geared towards school, like school age students. And so as a teacher, I have access to this. I have access to my students. I can set challenges for them. And so I did the math. So for these 3 books, I started on Monday, finished Friday. I read on a sticky note so I wouldn't forget. I read a total of 695 minutes, which equates to about 11 and a half hours. So this week, 11 and a half hours of reading. And I was able to track that through Beanstack. And I'm on a roll. I don't want to not read tomorrow, because it does like kind of give you like a streak. So I'm on an 8-day streak right now because I did start with my Scythe and Sparrow last week and really enjoyed it. So we started off this week with They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I gave this a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this. It made me cry. It is very unexpected in some places. Like obviously, the title tells you how it's going to end, but tears. And then I started If I Stay by Gayle Foreman. Another 5 out of 5, another tearjerker. I probably shouldn't have read 2 books regarding death or the loss of like just grief back to back, but I did. Um, but I really enjoyed this. I will also be picking up Where She Went, I think is the next book. Yeah, Where She Went. Soon. It is also on my shelf. This might be going to my classroom shelf and off of my personal shelf. And then we finished off this week with Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, which I gave a 3.5 stars. I enjoyed the storyline. I rated it lower because of the characters and the way that they interacted with each other. Making excuses for assaults and oh, he didn't mean to do that. He didn't. Oh, it's okay. He didn't mean to. Are you sure? Like, what else did he do? Was he drunk? Like making excuses. Not about our main guy, but about other people. But I enjoyed this. This is also part of a series, and I will continue this sooner rather than later, so I don't forget. And hopefully, it's not another 15 years before the next time I pick up the next book. So, yes, these were my reads this week. I really enjoyed this. It is spring break now, so I am going to have time to sit, relax, read my TBR. I do have a book coming. The Strawberry Patch Pancake House is coming this week. So excited for it. It should be here. It should be here by Friday. Fingers crossed it's here by Friday. But I have a few things going on this week that are book related, so I'm excited to keep with me. It's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. Yeah. If there's anything else that you want to see me read, please leave it down in the comments. I have 5 books left of my physical TBR, but I can always pick up my reading challenge again and choose from that. I hope you all have a wonderful break if you are on break. I hope you all have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing y'all again. Sorry, there was a fly or a gnat or something. Collect, restart. Okay. I hope you'll have a wonderful week. I hope you have a good day, a good rest. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know if there's anything that you want to see, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.